One of my favorite pages on Twitter is the Defiant L's page, where they do a great job of really capturing things that a lot of these deranged leftists say that are in direct opposition to what they have said before. Like if you got a lot, I mean, there's so many of these blue checkmark leftists who, oh, I'm not taking a vaccine, Trump, I'd never do that, fuck that. And then they'll have another post like, oh, you're an idiot if you don't get it. Like those types. The Fine L's does a very good job of documenting it. This one, though, is a great one because, of course, it's the politician, the man that you think of when you think politics, because he's not only been in politics for as long as he's been in it, he's also the president, rather, of the United States. And here's something, and this isn't, let me say this isn't more so aimed at the people who watch regularly that are, like I say, on my side of the political aisle. This is more so for those of you that are in the middle, or you're a straight, hard-ticket leftist, or you just hate watch me. Whatever it is, this one's for you. Joe Biden ran under this, and some of you voted for him. I'm not saying that there's people, of course, that watch my videos that voted for him, especially because they didn't like Orange Man. So this one's for you. To you guys that believed that, okay, this, and then the media sold you on this because of a response, a lack thereof, Trump, they say he downplayed the virus, whatever that means. And therefore, he did that. And even though he has his Operation Warp Speed, which I've grilled him for it, which started this shit lining these pockets up of the pharmaceutical companies. Trump started that shit. Let's be very clear. Let's be clear. Let's be open. But nonetheless, this man ran on this idea, and y'all believed him. Some of y'all crackhead ass believed him, that he could do something different that would then change the course of how this virus was running through the country. Well, as mentioned, and we talked about this on News and Why It Matters on Monday's episode, 22nd, U.S. COVID-19 deaths in 2021 have outpaced last year's toll. So what does that mean? Basically, this year, we know in the beginning of January, or rather in January, Biden, he steps in, and now he's your beloved commander-in-chief, and he ain't changed the goddamn thing. It's almost as if politicians lie. What? Whoa. This is why I fucking hate politics. And seriously, let's have a heart-to-heart here, guys. I hate politics because what it is a bunch of idiots running around begging for your vote to put them in office, to have them attempt to do something which they simply cannot do. And you believe them. Now, that, again, is not necessarily something that is specifically unique to leftists. A lot of people do. Hey, we did it with Trump. You get this guy in office, all this is it's gonna be okay. A lot of what they promise you is not only not in their capabilities or in their power, they simply cannot do it. It's a literal impossible thing. This man ran as if he was gonna stop the fucking pandemic. Or rather, I don't want to say that because we can't call it that no more. He ran as if, okay, I can get this under control. Like, you can't control a motherfucking thing. You can't. It's not how this works. You're not God, man. You might think that you are. You may have a complex about you, but you ain't God, man. But that's what politics is all about. It's about weirdos promising you something, and then people go out en masse and go support them in order to get what is promised. And often they'll never get that because they can't. It's impossible. It ain't gonna stop no politician from running. This is what, look, if there is to be a more preferable politician, if you can use a term as such, it's the politician that promises you nothing. I love the term and how people would use it. It goes to show how much they really trust and value the opinions and the positions and the power that folks in office have. You always hear this term, we have a do-nothing Congress. You used to hear that a lot during the Obama administration. We have a do-nothing Congress. You know what? It would be more preferable if they did nothing. I would rather them sit with a thumb up their ass and not do anything, as opposed to what they do on the daily basis is sitting here arguing and passing nonsensical bills, which does do nothing but line up the pockets of their fucking cronies with money that, of course, is not theirs because they stole it. That's all this is. That's all politics is. That's all it's ever been. I don't look to these guys. This is why the more preferable politicians were the Ron Pauls of the world. The guy that promised you to do nothing. And in the event that he was trying to do something, it always had something to do with ridding the power, even if it meant giving himself less power, ridding the power of the position it is that he has and trying to place it back into the individual. See, that is, if there is to be a more preferable politician, it will be the one that looks like that. Not the one that campaigns, goes rally to rally, sitting here making fucking promises of what he's going to do with your money that isn't his, often pertaining to subject matters that he has no control over, like a fucking virus. I think, let me say this. You know why I always talk about culture? This is so important, right? It's not just because it is the downstream of politics. That's the dumbed down, politics on the downstream of culture. But it's not just that in terms of my focus. The big thing here in understanding what that term means is I could sit here and gripe and bitch and moan about the politicians themselves, the government officials themselves. I could do that all day long. But ultimately, their power is given to by the people who are within this geographical area. So if you wonder why I often set my sights on those people, it's because those are the guys that allow that power structure to exist, right? So if I can get that person, or rather delegitimize the authority through the eyes of the people, then the politics are going to correct themselves, right? They'll lead their own life in terms of how that's going to come into fruition in a more freer, more prosperous geographical area. But so as long as people, no matter what side of the aisle, expect, that's the most dangerous thing, is you have people that expect. That's why we're getting these silly arguments, right? You expect the government. So when I hear people talk about what this person needs to do this, or we need this guy to come through and come save us, I try to bring the conversation back in. I'm like, why are we expecting people that we know are crooked pieces of shit to run our lives? Why? That seems like a fucking problem. You know? So that's the focus here. And that's my focus. Because the expectation is the dangerous part. If not, what they say is just words. It's just words, you know? But they can sell you on a dream because you have the expectation that a fucking president of the United States can move the fucking world for you. And if he could, that's a problem. But nonetheless, he can't sit here and fucking argue about, I can get this under control. You can't do a motherfucking thing. There's more deaths this year. You didn't even have a vaccine last year. There was no vaccine. So that means the vaccine got rolled out and it didn't do what you claim that it was going to fucking do. Period. That's just what the stats, is what the data says. You can be mad at me all you want. That's what the data says. You can blame a Delta variant all you want. That's what the data says. It makes no fucking sense. It shouldn't have been close. Let alone, in this case, it outpaced last year's toll. It should have even been close. This year, with the vaccine rolled out compared to last year when there was literally a 0% vaccination rate in this country last year. The numbers shouldn't be close, yet they are. Why? Because it simply is not doing what they claim that it would do. It's simple. It's not that difficult to understand. But there are crackheads out there that believe, oh, well, it's this way because Trump. Now we got Biden, and it's going to be different. He actually cares. It's going to save us. God, you people are fucking retarded. You just watched a clip from our podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.